Dudes,
Tunes,
and Brews.
and Brews.
We're dudes,
We're dudes.
listening to tunes.
Listen to tunes.
Drinking some brews.
Drinking some brews.
We're dudes,
We're dudes.
listening to tunes.
Listening to tunes.
And drinking some brews.
And drinking some brews. Hello and welcome. This is Dudes
Tunes.
and Brews,
Oh.
episode 5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
The Dudes Strike Back.
Yeah, the dudes strike back for the 5th time.
For the 5th time, we just keep striking back.
We do. You can't keep us down. Cannot keep us down.
No Rebel Alliance can keep these brothers off the ground.
No.
Just a couple of dudes listening to tunes,
And we got
drinking some brews.
we have double the brews this evening because we have Brews here.
What do we got here tonight, Harley? You actually are the one who invested in tonight's brew. You
I
actually
purchased this
lured
brew
me to your home
with good beers. Good beers.
And you got me in here thinking about records.
Yeah, well, the beer is Warsteiner.
This is the Dunkel Roasted Barley Malt.
It is. It is 4% alcohol by volume.
Ooh, what do you think about that number being so low?
Oh, 4.8. My apologies.
But it's closer to a 5, but I think that I kind of like that it's there in the 4% range because I've had a black and tan that was the Yuengling black and tan. It was only like a 4.5, 4.8 range, I believe. And I got pretty loaded off of 3 of them. I couldn't believe it. It was weird. I don't know if it's the heaviness of the brew that lingers more of the alcohol in your guts to maybe spread out, or maybe I didn't eat enough that day. I seemed very strange to be below a 6.5 to get me lit before 3.
Hold on. Let's crack these open and we'll discuss them. We're drinking them out of bottles because we don't have frosty mugs. We're on location at my house this evening.
Studio B. We're in the Studio B.
Studio B.
For those at home, this is delicious.
It's not bad.
This is I'm going 4.5 brews on this because of a lot of reasons. To me, this is the perfect beer because it holds its flavor. It's dark, it's pungent, and the low percent alcohol, it's kind of got that edge to it like a good yard work beer, but it's
got a very dark flavor. It's very dark. It leaves a very strong taste.
What cacao would you call it? Percentage wise.
Oh man, I don't even know. It's
bitter unit.
It's definitely got the bitter after. The back of my tongue is dancing from the bitterness.
What song is it dancing to?
I think it got rickrolled or something.
Better than getting steamrolled.
I'd give it a 4, maybe 3.5.
Ooh,
not my favorite.
Nice, I like this.
But
well,
it's very dark.
For the listeners at home, you are more of an IPA guy.
Yeah, and I like the kind of bitter, extreme flavors, but I can't quite put my finger on this one.
Yeah, this one to me, it's just subtle and smooth enough with its flavors. Even with the bitterness of it, it doesn't bite you.
No, it doesn't bite you.
So I can enjoy it. It's a roasted barley malt.
Yes.
So what's the deal with the whole malt thing? Do you know much about that?
I do not know a whole lot about it.
I know that I like malt liquor, and I've always liked Mickey's and some of that OE, and I've always been told that's a malt beer. Not quite certain what that's meant, but
I'm not sure.
according to our facts here, malt beer is a sweet, low alcohol beer that is brewed like regular beer but with low or minimal fermentation. To keep the alcohol content low, 1 or 2 methods may be used. Either the yeast is added at about so on and so forth. It really goes into the process here. But malt beer is considered to be nutritious and is sometimes given to nursing mothers. Okay, I'm not quite feeling that when I drink my Mickey's, so I think that there's got to be some sort of a confusion with that compared to what I just read. Have you ever had Mickey's?
Not recently.
When's the last time you had it and why?
I don't know.
That's the $1,000,000
I
question.
think I was with some people some years ago when I was drinking some.
And that was it?
Fuck, if I remember.
That's
bro.
usually how it works out. But for me, it was always like one other person. We
Mm.
just got like $4 between us. Hey, let's get a couple Mickeys. We're gonna need a couple more quarters. But we did it, man. It was enjoyable.
Nothing's gonna keep you down, bro.
Alcohol by volume is 6.6. So it's higher up on the malt scale than the other was saying. Now this says malt liquor, so there's a difference between malt liquor and malt beer. Malt liquor in North America is beer with high alcohol content. Legally, it often includes any alcoholic beverage with 5% or more alcohol by volume made with the malted barley. In common usage, it refers to beers containing a high alcohol content, generally above 6%, which are made with ingredients and processes resembling those for American-style lagers. Very interesting. Yeah, I've always liked the sweetness of Mickey's. It's kind of got a little like a different taste to it than anything else. But we're not talking about Mickey's right now. We're talking about the Warsteiner.
It's growing on me, so I'm gonna change mine to a 4.
You going to a 4?
I'm gonna go to a solid 4.
What do you think the temp on these is supposed to be? You think this is a good cold temp that's supposed to be at, or is it one of those you put in your cellar?
I drink all beers cold, man. Who wants a warm beer?
Hey.
It's
like
you know,
wine.
you're walking around the house, and you got a cold beer, so you're walking around the house, right? You got to do something real quick, and you set it down, and then like there might have been another beer can next to it that you finished like an hour ago, and you're like, oh, and it's warm because you forgot you had a beer.
Oh yeah, great. That's good, so great. But you just chug it down anyways. You're like, I paid money for this.
The initial shock though, because you're expecting a cold beer, is discouraging.
Yeah, but that beer when you wake up the next morning and you only had like a third of it, and you just fell asleep, and you look at the other 2/3 and you just think, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
But I could drink that, and then you don't do either.
Or you could think, I'm gonna put that in the fridge for later, but it's the morning.
Ooh.
No, ain't no one got time for that.
No, so I just swish my mouth with it, spit it out, and just tell myself this is wrong, and I pour it out.
Speaking of brews, we have, I mentioned Double Brew earlier. Tonight's record.
And it's not from the stack this evening because we are in Studio B, and we come from a different line of music choice here, which is several albums on this wall here.
Vinyls.
The vinyls. Did I touch myself? All right, and this album of choice we have here.
This album is Roy Wood's WIzzard. WIzzard's Brew.
WIzzard's Brew.
And there's a lot of history with this guy. If you're into music, like we are. And we're going to listen to this here in a little bit. We should start it now.
Yeah, that record player you got there is pretty fancy.
It's not bad.
Ooh, listen to those drums right away. All right. WIzzard's Brew. Love that tone.
This ain't bad so far. So, Roy Woods, his history. If you're familiar with Electric Light Orchestra, then you might know of him. He played with Jeff Lynne and helped create the Electric Light Orchestra. I think he tried to take credit for it, but whatever. But yeah, he goes on, and ELO does its thing, and he goes in more of a glam rock direction, and does his own group called WIzzard. And yeah, he also played with Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy in a group called The Boys. Short-lived, but it happened. And yeah, might do a little more research into this. Well, we're definitely gonna do some more conversation. But one guy on the back of the album cover does not look happy to be leaning against another guy in the band. And this one guy looks like Lionel Richie. And that guy, yeah, he's not happy leaning on the other guy.
Just a bunch of dudes.
Yep. Like, hey, we're going to lean on each other.
A bunch of glamorous dudes playing some pretty rockin' music, if you ask me.
Right.
So the album choice, what made us choose this? What were the other choices we'd come up with?
Triumph, Just a Game, and the soundtrack from the movie More, late 60s film, independent film, I believe, and Pink Floyd did the soundtrack for it, and that's what that album is. It's the entire soundtrack done by Pink Floyd.
Pretty awesome. Have you ever heard the George Harrison soundtrack that he did? It's like a something Wonderwall.
Something Wonderwall.
It's kind of like the cover of it's like a red brick deal, and it's just basically he and a Moog the entire time.
Really?
Yeah, and it's very out there, just a lot of sounds and just George Harrison doing what he wants. I don't think he really sings on it or anything. I really think it's just mostly the Moog the entire time. It's pretty cool for what it's worth.
Good old George Harrison. I have several George Harrison LPs too. Some of them are they're pretty good.
George Harrison's rules. He's definitely my favorite Beatle.
Yeah,
I'm chugging down this Vorsteiner like it's a domestic.
The flavor definitely grows on you. It's almost just like a dark soda pop.
Yes. Like you're eating some Tootsie Rolls and you took a couple swigs of some delicious beverage.
Yeah. It's kind of like almost like a root beer, but a super dark one. Super dark root beer. I like it.
Well, we got music's too loud. Alright, we're trying a little bit of this new technology while we're talking to y'all tonight. We're doing the Facebook Live.
No.
And it seems like our technology isn't working so well on my phone here. But music's too loud. We're trying to figure that out because on this compressor mic, music loud actually works well in our favor because we're so close to it. On this camera, though, I think we'll probably have to put it further away for video and whatnot.
Yeah, most likely. We're figuring it all out as we go, folks. This is episode 5.
Episode 5. The Dudes Strike Back. Am I right? Oh.
Right.
All right. WIzzard Brew, man. I'm definitely digging this.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why he would say he's the precursor to ELO because it's more like the punk glam experimental version of what would become that ELO sound. Obviously Jeff Lynne does what Jeff Lynne does, and I'm not dismissing that, but he's kind of like the David Gilmour taking the reins from our man
Roger.
No, not Roger.
Sid Barrett.
Sid Barrett. Yeah, your favorite.
Oh yeah.
Of all time.
Love Sid Barrett.
Yeah. You're quoted as calling him a pretentious turd. I think that's.
Did I say that?
It's okay.
That sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, it's all right. I think we have Sid Barrett on the line, actually.
Ah, crap. I owe him $20.
Yeah, he says, "It's all right, mate." That's all he said. He said, "It's all right, mate."
It's all right, mate.
Ooh, what is that? The saxophone or is that the
Sounds
bassoon?
Now you got me second guessing.
What's a bassoon sound like?
You ever just seen what's that one? Peter and the Wolf, or what's the
Oh,
one?
I love Peter and the Wolf.
Is that the one that has all the instruments?
Something. Yeah, it's got all the different instruments and like the birds are like the little flutes and stuff. And the wolf is like, I don't know what the wolf is, but I love it.
Man, they used to make us watch that in elementary school.
Elementary school had the best music programs. I wish I liked kids as well as they pretended, but I don't think they really liked us that well.
Everyone had to buy a recorder.
I never did the recorder. I somehow got away from the recorder.
Well, damn.
I got very lucky. I say that now, but in hindsight, I wish I'd learned how to play the recorder. Can you play the recorder?
No. I learned like all the elementary school stuff you're supposed to, like, you know, hot cross buns and.
Do you know the words to hot cross buns?
Hot cross buns, hot cross buns, hot cross buns. I think that's all it is.
I like it. Sounds pretty good, man.
I'm probably wrong. I don't care.
I think it sounds best on a xylophone. If I had to choose an instrument to hear hot cross buns, I think xylophone is the one for me.
Yeah, xylophone's pretty nice. Glockenspiel or the xylophone or marimba?
It's just Three Blind Mice.
Yeah, you know, you're right.
Do you know the words to that horrible, tragic song?
The Mouse Murders? The Mouse Murders of 1848?
Good lord, is that what that's about?
It's immortalized in song, bro.
There was an actual mouse murder?
Oh man, 1848, there was a farmer, and he had so many mice, he said, I'm gonna kill all these things.
Oh, dude.
And so he went to the country, and like rounded up a bunch of wolves, and let them loose in the town to take over, you know, take care of these mice, and they killed everybody.
Oh, they killed everybody. All the people.
All the people.
So it wasn't even about the mice at that point. It was so over the top that he ended up killing all the people. What a jerk.
That was all bullshit, bro.
That guy was a real jerk.
Right?
That's all I gotta say about that. He definitely couldn't appreciate an album like WIzzard's Brew.
No.
Because he doesn't deserve it. Because he's a meanie head. He's sending wolves into the town to kill mice.
Hey, farmers did crazy things back then.
Farmers don't really get to do anything cool anymore. Now they're just people who live in houses.
And take out, you know, insurance.
Yeah, farmers insurance? Whoa, chop and screw, dude, 1970. You hear that? They slowed the tape down, man.
Huh.
So yeah, they all ran after the farmer's wife. She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life as three blind mice?
Yeah.
Everybody's dead from the wolves in town. That old man mayor, he's such a stupid clown.
Are you rapping now?
Poetry, yo.
Sounded like you were rapping. You were spitting some verse.
I'm rapping about some mice. Tossing out this dice. So, I see you brought these dry roasted peanuts for my pleasure.
I did.
Dry roasted peanuts. But, as you can see on the label there's a bit of a mistake that they are unsalted. Which makes me a bit salty, but you can't... What is it? Beggars can't be choosers?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't beg for this, but, you know, I'm still gracious. I'm humble. I appreciate your unsalted roasted peanuts. I've never had unsalted roasted peanuts.
I have recently, and they're actually not bad.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, salt adds to them, but unsalted is good too.
Do you get unsalted butter?
No. Like, I don't usually buy unsalted stuff, because, like, I bought unsalted peanuts a few months ago on accident. And I was like, I guess I'm going to eat them.
Here's some peanuts for people at home. I know you'll love them. They're unsalted. Yeah. No, they're not bad. It tastes a little like bird food. But that's okay. Unsalted peanuts. The way that good Lord intended them. that good.
Oh, I was looking up some facts about WIzzard. My apologies.
So WIzzard is the name of this group, right?
Yeah. And the album is WIzzard's Brew. They were a glam rock group. This album was released in 73.
1973, and it was followed by Introducing Eddie and the Falcons.
Eddie and the Cruisers?
Eddie and the Cruisers 3, Eddie and the Falcons.
Eddie's back.
And he's madder than ever.
Yes. The album was number 29 on the UK album chart. It was released by United Artists Records. Ah, this one has a different album cover than the one I have.
Oh, I wonder what the difference is. Yeah, that's a good looking cover too.
It was re-released in 2006 at let's see, Phonogram Studios and EMI Studios in London. Labeled as prog rock, hard rock, and glam rock. Total running time of 41 minutes. Produced by Roy Wood. Alright, introduced to Eddie and the Falcons, that's right. Yep, there's the US alternate cover there.
Wow.
That's that one.
That's the one we got. Look
Yeah,
at
I think
that.
my girlfriend found this at a flea market.
I love flea markets.
And let's see here. It was ranked number 18 in 2003 by Mojo magazine in a list of top 50 eccentric albums.
Now, who's your favorite glam artist?
Ah, my favorite who?
Glam artist.
Glam artist. Well, I think Kiss was put in the glam category.
Oh, I definitely put Kiss in glam category, without a doubt.
Yeah, and you know, my guilty pleasure is Kiss.
Yeah, so I think that goes without saying. I'd have to say T-Rex would definitely be one of my
Mark
favorites.
Bolan has a good following. He's a pretty good guy.
Of course, Bowie, but that's kind of an understood.
Yeah, everyone loves Bowie.
Even Prince-ish. Prince is definitely glam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can call
He
him
brought
funk
it
or
back.
whatever else, but he's a glam artist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's kind of one of those things that got overplayed in the deep 80s.
Yeah.
Probably just post deep 80s, really, because they're trying to go back to rock music,
Yeah.
but more scene oriented. So that glam deal was a little strange. The big hair, makeup scenario.
The 80s glam and the 70s glam are like totally different.
Yeah, two different worlds. It's kind of like punk rock. You have your beginning stages of it, and then you have when it progressed into more mainstream.
Like the 70s was more about like just look as crazy as you are. Like that
Yeah.
came from the 60s. And the 80s was like look as much like a girl as you can.
Right.
Like they really pushed the androgyny in the 80s.
But in a way, that was very strange because if you were like acting like a chick, people were pretty hard on you. But if you had a guitar and you acted like a chick, they're like, "Yeah, you're awesome."
You want to play at my kid's birthday party?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'll pay you in cake.
Pay you in cake. Is that street for heroin? Better come with some sugar frosted deliciousness. I don't know.
I would not mind being paid in cake at least, like, you know, for simple jobs.
But cake is a very, it's a very personal experience. You know?
I like cake.
Not all cakes are made the same.
Not all cakes are made the same. Not all cakes are equal. But all cakes are innocent until proven guilty.
And all cakes matter.
They do.
Because a really dry cake can be fixed.
With milk. A
With
big
milk
glass
or
of
some
milk.
sort of sipping beverage. Like if it's a dried up angel food cake, which I don't know when that's ever happened. But if said thing happens, I'm gonna have some like Sprite or like lemonade or some Kool-Aid or milk or whatever, But like, I would definitely like a lemon beverage if I could with this, some dried up angel food cake.
That does sound fantastic. Like a San Pellegrino.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You take a bite, take a sip, let it do its thing. Let it open up those sealed in flavors.
That's right. All right. Speaking of that's right, we are done with beers numbers 1.
Beers numbers 1.
And I think it's time for beers number 2. Do you want to keep it with this one, or do you want to try a different one?
I'm up for.
Let's try the other.
Let's try the other German. Yeah, let's try another. I'm just sitting here eating these unsalted dry roasted peanuts. My blood pressure is not changing. And my cholesterol levels are still decent.
That's right. All right. This beer, I'm going to butcher this. The Hinstepaner. The Hinstepaner. Braukpakt. Braupakt.
Weihenstephaner.
Hefeweißbier. Stall dark and keep cool. 46 degrees to 52 degrees Fahrenheit.
Hefeweißbier.
Brewed on the purity laws of 1516. Well, that was fun. That's been Accents with the dudes. This one is 6% alcohol.
Yeah. This might taste like chocolate.
It's made by Sierra Nevada.
Sierra Nevada. So, are there many Germans in Sierra Nevada?
Where is Sierra Nevada?
Is it in Nevada?
That's what I was going to say. Are these twist-offs?
Where's Nevada? Oh, that's where Las Vegas be, right?
I guess so. Let's open these.
1, 2, 3. Oh, I splattered a little on my leg. I will be driving slowly tonight.
Oh, that's very flavorful.
Oh, you got it. And the Braupakt?
The Braupakt. Hefeweißbier.
Woo, mama.
I wanted something velvety tonight.
Oh, yeah. I think you might have gotten something,
This would be a good head beer, like if we had the big mugs.
This has a bear on the front of it.
It does.
Okay.
And he's packing beers.
I would say that that's definitely what this is. It's a bear beer.
Yeah. I thought the last one had flavor. This one's got flavor.
It's got flavor. It says it's Hopfen, hops, Hauer tradition, Amarillo Chinook. I don't know what any of those words mean, but that says that on this label. I read that.
That's what it says. I just read it too.
So there's lots of foreign things going on this label, but it says Sierra Nevada, so it's some type of like within this.
Looks like a very cloudy beer.
And that's a new thing to me. I didn't know that was a thing, cloudy beers, until last episode when we did the Hefeweizen. I forget the brand, but it was really good.
Yeah, it was.
And it was highly regarded. I need my notes.
I'll take minutes. You should just hire someone to listen to the past episodes and take notes for you.
Well, the sad thing is I'm constantly the one listening to our past episodes.
You need a stenographer.
I just need a stenographer. That's probably the truest thing you've ever said.
Well,
Write that down.
I'm not a stenographer. You need a stenographer and the love of a good woman.
Oh, I'm telling you, the love of a good woman and a hot brisket. And a cold brew.
Yep.
Those are all things that everyone
Damn right.
needs. Everyone needs that, even anyone. If you ain't got that, then brother, we'll get you there.
Isn't that like an insurance commercial slogan?
Should be.
Brother, we'll get you there.
Brother, we'll get you there.
Hertz Rent
Hogan
Car.
is Hogan Insurance. Brother, we'll get you there.
There you go.
Speaking of which, I've got the little thing going on in my place tomorrow where I'm going to be playing some VHS tapes of Suburban Commando.
Cool.
And I'm going to be playing Demolition Man. So if you get bored or, want to come over, bring some snacks, you can come watch the VHS copies of said films. You and I watched Suburban Commando together. Actually, the VHS copy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, but I got sucked into it because of the quality, top-notch acting,
You got it.
the production value, and
Shep Ramsey.
Shep Ramsey. That's right.
I was frozen today. That's good stuff.
Oh man, that movie.
That movie.
The Hulk Hogan. Good old Terry. He's a good guy.
Terry.
He is indeed. How many movies is he in the 80s? Like 3?
Well, I know of that one, Mr. Nanny,
That's the other one I was thinking of.
and I can't really think of any other on the top of my head.
Terry.
Wasn't he in one of the Three Ninjas movies? As like a villain?
If he's not, he should be like CGI'd in.
I would just like to see him CGI'd into anything at this point.
Right?
I think that's why Hollywood's not trying, is because in the next 15, 20 years, they're just going to just take old stock footage
Oh yeah.
and just create new films. And that's fine with me in a very sad way, because I see like how hip-hop changed the music industry. I'd like to see like the hip-hop of innovative film industry. Samples over, and then like new stuff put over it. But they've kind of already been doing that for a while anyways, I guess. With some films that have come out recently, like Finding Dory, and then they did it with that Terminator movie, Genesis or whatever, where they went back and had old Arnold fighting new Arnold.
Oh.
I didn't see it, but I saw like part of a preview.
Interesting.
I want to see it. I think it's
robots can't age.
yeah. There was a lot of people who said that too. But he was just weathered.
Shop worn.
Yeah.
They're hanging in a closet.
I did not find Sarah Connor. Which Arnold are you? The one from the future. We're all from the future, jerk.
Oh, wow. Hulk Hogan has 148 acting credentials.
Oh, jeez. All right, that's too much to involve in, but right away, the first 2 films, he was in Three Ninjas, High Noon, at Mega Mountain. And it's a 2.8 IMDb. I don't know if I've ever seen an IMDb that score that low. So I'm actually impressed.
Man, he's been on a lot of stuff. All the WWC, WWG, WFF, and all those FFs and Ks and Ws.
Does he get acting credentials for like his wrestling career?
Yeah, I just saw like a whole bunch of.
So that's kind of like what we had mentioned last week when we talked about like, most episodes runtime.
Mm-hmm.
We'd mentioned soap operas.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a cheap way to do it. You know what I mean? It's like he hasn't been in 100. He hasn't been in that much stuff, but he totally has. I mean, he showed up to work.
Right.
He still did his lines and whatever, but it just
point.
seems
WWF is just scripted television.
you heard it here first, folks.
But like
we're the scoop on wrestling. It's fake.
This and more at 11.
Wrestling. Is it fake? I don't know.
Could Terry Hogan take Chuck Norris? This and more at 11.
Boobs. You like fake ones? Who cares? They look great in a dress. Tonight at 11.
Oh, Jesus. Boobs. Do they float? This and more at 11.
And back to you, Jim.
Yeah, it's kind of hot today. Yeah, it is.
So is this a double-sided record?
Yeah, all
Okay,
records
so
are double-sided.
See,
You have any single-sided records?
Oh man, the B-sides, man. This is why the B-sides are such a big deal, because the record ends and you've sat through it and you're like,
well,
I guess we'll flip it.
it does have a B-side.
Yeah, I love that. I love B-sides, but it takes more work. I see why people make it such a rarity, because it's like the extra bit of labor it took to listen to the B-side. And then cassettes came out and changed that, man. They revolutionized it in the deep 80s.
Sanyo. It's Chinese for quality. Or Taiwanese.
How do you feel about Lonnie Anderson?
Lonnie Anderson. I'm trying to remember who she is.
She's got the. You're gonna know exactly who she is when I show you the picture.
Oh yeah, that chick.
Yeah, with the high pitched voice and the whole deal. What's her claim to fame? How did she come into power?
Maybe Dallas.
A buxom, bedimpled. Is it bedimpled?
Bedimpled.
Is that a word? Bedimpled, like bedazzled?
My, you sure are bedimpled.
My bedimpled, lovely lady. Let me see your bedimpled little chick. It says, a buxom, bedimpled, pert-nosed knockout. Lonnie Anderson took an assured place. Oh, there's more going. On one of television sex symbol pedestals during the late 70s and early 80s. A breakout in Emmy-nominated role WKRP. There we go. We got her answer right there.
That's
wow,
it.
She goes... So that's kind of gives her a little more street cred. If you can,
Oh wow, there's a beautiful cardinal on my bird feeder out the window here. It's very red.
It's,
Yes,
of
window.
course, at 6 o'clock from where I sit. Which makes it very difficult for me to turn around. But now that I've turned around, my back is very achy. Which brings us to tonight's segment of Dads in History. Who's your
Dads in
favorite?
history.
Who's your favorite dad in history?
My favorite dad in history? Oh man. It's a lot of dad. Ghost dad.
Ghost Dad. Thank you. Finally, somebody gets that. I agree.
Yeah.
He could have gone on, but now he stuck around for some comedic
Yeah.
moments, and he comes back, right?
I think so. Of course, like he has to.
I mean, I have to revisit Ghost Dad.
Yes.
Is that okay to do now? Is
You
that,
should
is
select-
that PC to enjoy a Bill Cosby?
I think you have to watch Ghost Dad, then Ghostbusters, and then Ghost.
Oh,
Like,
what a fantastic
I
trilogy!
think that's the trilogy.
Yeah, that's the trilogy that people, the unsung trilogy.
Yeah.
Ghost Dad, Ghostbusters, Ghost.
Right. But
This
in-
is good.
Okay, but in Ghostbusters, you have to pretend that Bill Murray is Bill Cosby. And then in
Done. That's
Ghost,
I already do that.
you have to pretend that Demi Moore is Bill Cosby.
Equally done. Okay. Bill Cosby or Patrick Swayze. That scene is definitely golden at this point.
Right.
I feel like that could work. And obviously Hollywood was telling us something at
Mhm.
that point.
That's correct.
That when you die, you're supposed to come back and help other people, and then you can go on.
Or you come down and you just scare the hell out of a lot of people, and you just stay and hang out.
That's not a good deal. But watch out, it can't be like Kevin Bacon and Hollow Man.
That movie was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, fantastic piece of cinema.
At least it didn't accidentally show his dick like they did in Wild Things. We all watched that movie for the boobs. We're like, oh, there's a three-way between Denise Richards and Neve Campbell, which was cool when you're in 7th grade. And then all of a sudden you're just watching it, and all of a sudden, boom, Kevin Bacon schlong. And I'm like, dude, I was not prepared for this.
Wow. I have not seen that, and I'm pretty happy.
You've never seen Wild Things?
No.
Wow. That's surprising.
Well, I've seen Wild Hogs.
Or is that movie with,
Dude, it's got everybody.
is it the one with Tim Allen
Yes.
and Martin Lawrence?
Yeah. Anybody you're gonna name, I'm gonna say
John
yes.
Travolta?
Yes.
Vin Diesel?
Yes.
No way, are you serious? That was supposed to be my curveball. No way.
Alright, I'm screwing with you.
Okay.
Vin
but
Diesel.
The other three I knew were.
There was a bunch of people. I've never seen it. I'm screwing with
Me
you.
neither, but I'm kind of curious now they said those three names. Why were they in the same room together?
Because they're old. They're like the AARP crowd now.
But how did Martin Lawrence end up with John Travolta? That seems like a very strange dinner.
Yeah. Hey,
They're
he-
both probably pretty good at dancing.
he needs money too.
Yeah.
They're probably great at dancing. They probably dance a lot with each other.
Probably. That's what people do. You know?
Yeah, lunch break. Hey,
Let's go dance. What?
you want to dance?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna dance like Big Mama today.
But there's no music. The music's in your heart.
It's in your heart, kid.
And then like super dance all over the place. Yeah.
If only you could see me dancing now. This has got some growl to it,
Yeah,
man.
it does. It's got horns, it's got guitars, it's got drums, it's got loud peoples.
It's got commentary over it. Dudes, Tunes, and Brews.
That's right. But, you know, we don't own this. We never expressed nor implied we own this. I own the physical copy. We are using it for conversation and dissection and general knowledge for the masses.
Today is Thursday, June 14th, 2018, 8:55 p.m.
And we're not getting paid for this, so whatever. I'm going to keep drinking beer, eating peanuts, and listening to my albums. And talking with my pal Josh.
My pal Josh. Every weekday at 3 p.m.
I was thinking like a crappy toy like Teddy Ruxpin. My pal Josh.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
the tapes in his back and he'll talk.
Hey, everybody. I am Josh. Teddy Ruxpin, man. Didn't they try to bring it back for a minute? Like,
I think
try
so.
to make it come back? Seems like it'd be pretty easy to do nowadays, but you don't even need any tapes or anything. You just do it with digital music. They already have it with that, what's the leapfrog dog that all the kids have?
Crap, I know this. The purple one's Violet.
Violet and
Violet, Eli, Penny, Scout.
Scout. I'm with you, Scout.
I'm with
Yeah.
you. No.
Scout.
We
Do without watching as we go down Adventure Road.
My kid had like all the DVDs too. And yes.
Dads, man.
Yes,
Dads.
Dad Father's Day episodes. Who's
Yeah.
your favorite dad of all
I was
history?
waiting for this. My favorite of all time was God. Because what a jerk.
What a ass kisser.
What a jerk. No, Darth Vader. Goes, what a jerk.
Red Foreman was a pretty good dad.
Who's that?
Red Foreman. That's what I should have said.
Red Fox?
Red Foreman. Oh, Red Fox too.
You big dummy.
You know, Sanford and Son was the reason I called my own Pop. Because
Nice.
Lamont would always be like, "Oh, come on, Pop."
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
You're a total Lamont.
I'm what?
You're a total
I am
Lamont.
totally Lamont.
That's cool, man.
Lamont, you big dummy.
You big dummy. He's
Oh,
great
come on,
mustache,
Pop.
too.
Right.
You can't beat the Lamont mustache.
I bet Lamont was a pretty cool dude.
He just loved his pop too much, though. Like, poor guy was a little codependent. I think
Yeah.
he was like, he had potential, but then he like, I mean, because in reality, an old man needed a little whooping. But he respected his dad too much. He ain't gonna be the one to give it to him,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, Lamont's cool.
Lamont. Good old Sanford and Son.
Now I have not ever seen Chico and the Man, which I guess is supposed to be like the.
It was a pretty popular show. My mom was into it. I remember her talking about it. I've never seen it either.
Freddie Prinze was the main dude.
That's it.
And I guess it was similar to Sanford and Son, is what someone told me. I don't know the similarity, how it works out. But
Sanford and Son was actually it was a UK show.
Really?
It was adapted for the American audience.
Isn't that interesting?
Or it's the other way around. I think it was originally the English version.
I'm always just really impressed with how they do that. Have you watched many shows that are British based? Like
Well, I know The Office is.
Have you watched the British version of it?
Maybe a couple times.
I've never gotten through. I've never really been able to.
Like I've tried maybe, and I couldn't get into
What
it.
about Shameless?
I haven't seen Shameless yet.
Either version.
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you the American version. The first season at least is fantastic. I know they're on like season 15 or some craziness, but what I've seen of the progression of the story elements of that show and how it's put together, it's so much better than what I anticipated. It was I was home sick from the flu, watched about 3 or 4 episodes at a time, didn't try to binge it too much. And I liked what I'd seen so far, so. But I almost watched part of the British episode, and it was very surreal, because it's like I'd already gotten so involved with the storyline of the American version that was like hard to recalibrate and follow that line.
Adaptations, man. I think the original Sanford and Son though was called Steptoe and Son.
Nice.
I actually found some on YouTube once, and it was boring as all get out because English TV is kind of boring. Some shows stand out. Like,
Yeah, I
whatever,
think-
whatever PBS puts up, that's top notch.
Well, we can basically say post Monty Python, British TV is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pre that, it was very smug, and I can see why John Lennon got bored with it. You know?
It's funny though, most people, I just thought of this, when we think of British television, we're going to think about what we've seen on PBS in your local affiliate PBS stations.
Of course, yeah.
And you're probably thinking of the exact same ones, like British television. Like, Are You Being Served? Remember that one?
Yeah.
And then what was the other one with Miss Bucket?
Oh, not certain. But the thing, yeah, like PBS programming is kind of boring.
Yeah.
But it's like once
They
you
have
get
good
caught
stuff
up in it,
sometimes.
but it's boring on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Once you actually like open your eyes and ears and mind to it, it's the best programming out there. I think
Yeah.
that's probably the same thing with British programming.
Probably.
It comes off very smug, boring, and kind of like, eh.
Cut
But then you
and
get
dry,
you
yeah.
get into the content of it, and it's like, oh, this is some of the most tongue-in-cheek satire.
Oh, and we all, of course, remember watching Mr. Bean on PBS, correct?
Mr. Bean, boom, he's another breakthrough for the British
Good
audience.
old Mr. Bean.
Oh yeah, and another great, fantastic character actor.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I also like the Mighty Boosh. Did you ever actually watch that or?
No, I only know of the Old Greg reference.
Old Greg, yeah. Old Greg reference was from like the third season. The first season is just them working at a zoo, two guys working at a zoo,
Huh.
and it's very sketch comedy, character acting. And they actually did a radio program first. So they did some of these episodes that they did like 10 plus episodes radio audio, and then later on took them and revisited them and then redid them for a visual audience.
Huh, that's interesting.
Very cool. And we're both into broadcasting, and we like the idea of audio visual. So in our case, it kind of right up our alley. You know, I think it's something you would appreciate just for the hands-on element, the process more than anything else. Old Greg was a good way to show their like silliness and their character acting, but that's only one little piece of the humorous completion of that series. Kind of in the same vein as like acts like Tenacious D or The Flight of the Conchords, things like that. Like two guys that do really well playing off each other. And
Oh, like a guy who played House, he started in an English duo, comedy duo.
really
Yeah, it was called a bit of Fry and Laurie.
nice.
Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie. Yeah, and he got the role of House. So
Yeah, I never got into the House thing.
I watched the crap out of that because somehow you get sucked in. Like if you're around it enough, you're just like, I'll give it a chance. Then you start learning words like sarcoidosis and hypothalamic deregulation, and you're like, yeah,
Which you can use pretty regularly.
yeah. Like I can go to the store and I'm like, dude, you've got hypothalamic deregulation.
Dude,
And he
thank you.
says, no, he says, I have sarcoidosis. And someone else chimes in that they have lupus.
Lupus, but it's never lupus.
Right? It's always sarcoidosis. It's
So is that a
almost-
pretty common thing? Is that real?
What?
The
Sarcoidosis?
sarcoidosis?
I think they're all real medical words.
Is there an Urban Dictionary version of that? Can you spell?
I could probably...
It seems like it has something to do with your circulation.
Sarcoidosis. Nope, sarcoidosis is a disease involving abnormal collections of inflammatory cells that form lumps known as granulomas. The disease usually begins in the lungs, skin, or lymph nodes. Less commonly affected are the eyes, liver, heart, and brain. Any organ, however, can be affected. This and more at 11.
That's insane.
Oh, we have a visitor. My kitty cat is roaming.
So you said the word granuloma.
Granuloma. I
I
guess
had
that's
a-
better than a regular uloma.
We're on the dad's special tonight, and I would have to say that I got a vasectomy a few years ago. Ladies, And the big thing that was a problem was the potential granulomas in my vas deferens.
The old vas deferens belt. That's the reason we never went to the moon, because all them vas deferens.
Oh, the vas deferens. But they got in there and they did a nice little snip and a nice little cauterizing, just like the good Lord intended. And
I don't think it's how he intended.
I beg to differ. So they went in there and they did a little nipping and a little tucking and a little extension, if you will.
No, they didn't.
And the granulomas came, the papulomas went, and the rash is clear.
Rashes, everybody. You heard it here first.
So I hear if you that everyone's got rashes like that, right?
No. I had a rash that poison ivy on my arm. It's finally cleared up.
Ooh. Was it ivy or sumac?
I don't know, dude. It looked like a branch just like drew on me in a straight line about 12 inches long on my arm.
That sounds terrible. Was it itchy?
I tried to stay unconscious of it for the most part.
Did you just try to stay unconscious, period? Knowing you, it was probably a few brews and...
A few brews, and I fall asleep. And I found myself scratching it in my sleep. I would wake up and realize I was scratching it, like, oh man.
Ooh. Yeah, that's terrible. But, you know, at least it's just an urban legend that you were spreading it.
Yeah.
Because that's not true, folks. That's actually your own fluids trapped inside the blister bubbles on your flesh.
I read that too.
It is not the actual, what do you know, the oil that's inside of that?
I can't remember the name. I looked it up a few days ago. Of course.
It's very easy
potent.
Yeah,
it can like stay on a piece of clothing. I read for like 300 days.
It's insane. They say take off your clothes immediately and throw it in the washer and then get in the shower and all these crazy things.
They say if you get it soon enough, you can rub rubbing alcohol on it.
Yeah, which I do anyways. I just constantly bathe in isopropyl alcohol.
Right. All I did with that was I did calamine lotion for 2 days. Like, this crap sucks. And I like to wear my tank tops.
You heard it here, folks. We love tank top talk.
I'm not going to be running around with pink sauce all over my arm.
Now, with guns like that, who wouldn't?
It's like, did you spill Pepto-Bismol on yourself? No.
Oh, I bet Pepto-Bismol would probably work just fine.
I was using rubbing alcohol. And I just swab it, get a pad sopping wet with alcohol, and I slather it on there.
Ooh, yeah, you got to rub it in good. Now, my daughter actually got a cut on her foot somehow the other day. It was like something poking out of the carpet. I don't know any details. But
carpet pokies.
We never found it. So it was kind of a ghost poke.
A ghost poke?
You got it pretty good, though. So I go and I don't have no peroxide. What do I need peroxide for, right?
You should always have peroxide.
I got the isopropyl.
Uh-oh. Not for
my
a child.
6-year-old daughter, she gets a little... I put it on the napkin, and she goes, "What's that?" And I go, right on the foot, and I go, "Pain is life." And she goes, "Ow!" But she didn't scream quite like most little kids would, because she looked at me with this understanding when I said that. Like, "You're a good father. You're making my foot feel this pain to teach me the wisdom of life, Dad."
It's not as easy with my boy. He got a splinter a few weeks ago in his foot. That was like an hour-long ordeal.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a hard one.
But then they finally get it out and he's like, "Isn't that better?" They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm cool." It's like, dude, you just like punched me in the face for half an hour straight. Come on.
It's the worst. Yeah, that's really kind of one of those things. Trying to get this tiny human to comply with reason. It's fighting chaos, dude. It's mopping a sinking ship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's raising kids.
It is. But I wouldn't change it.
Oh, I wouldn't change it for the world.
I like being a dad, and this is our Father's Day episode, and we can go on record and just say that every day is Father's Day.
Am I right? Am I right?
Boom.
That's what I'm saying.
Hallmark's gonna call us for that one.
Yeah, Hallmark is gonna be putting out some Dudes, Tunes, and Brews greeting cards. Yeah,
Father's Day cards.
Yep. Yeah, Father's Day cards, commemorative.
They'll match any decor.
With that lime green, yellow, we got some.
Whatever you got, we got you covered.
We got some reds on there. Yeah, there's neutral colors. There's some primary colors, secondary colors.
Secondaries, yes, with some triaries.
There's a whole slew of colors and shades.
Colors and shades, that's how the world is able for you to see it.
Yeah, that's right. That's almost like, it's almost science.
Right?
Yeah. Without that, what do you really
There's a
have?
lot of science behind color. I took a couple physics courses within the last 5 years.
Really? As an adult man? Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive, actually.
I went to community college for a little while,
Oh,
a good bit, and I took some physics courses, and I realized that I don't understand physics, but that there's a lot of physics in physics.
Yeah, but I think some of it's kind of common sense stuff.
It's common sense, but it's made so complicated you can't understand it.
It's almost like, let's say that you are fluent in playing the guitar.
Oh,
Oh, we got a special guest with us right now, speaking of being a dad.
Yep, this is my kiddo. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, kiddo. How are you?
Good.
Were you at the beach today?
Yeah.
They have the beach in Indiana, bro.
Yeah.
But not Indiana Beach.
Indiana Beach. Beautiful Lake Shafer in Monticello, Indiana.
But once again, there's more than corn in Indiana.
Yes.
Just for me.
Right. That's
Alrighty, kiddo. Watch my guitars. Oh, my kiddo. Cheesing for the cameras and the recorders and
right here in Studio B. That was
right
great.
here in Studio B. You gotta keep your work at home, people.
You gotta keep your home at work.
That's right.
No, I get in trouble for that, actually. They're like, you need to get this stuff out of here. Why do you have an...
Is this your couch? It smells like pee, bro.
Like, we really appreciate the sentiment of you putting it in the break room, but we need to be able to get into our lockers.
Yeah, and there's a fire like switch behind it, so if you could move that stuff.
You got a lava lamp in here, and you got some hookah things
You
on.
leave your lava lamp on all day, every day.
I started paying part of the electric bill at work, and they still aren't cool. Like, this
Bunch of
is
stingy
industrial.
bastards.
You guys got the 220 or
Right.
Is it 210? Was it?
210 voltage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You plug in a regular alarm clock in that bad boy, it's just like...
Dude, I got lit up with some 210 once.
Oh.
I was plugging in a 210 welder, Miller-Matic MIG welder at work one day, and my finger slipped off the back of the plastic like as I was putting it in,
Oh.
and it touched one of the prongs
Grounded.
right as I was putting it in, and my whole body just like locked up, and I'm holding this thing, and it was like a solid 10 seconds where I'm like conscious that I'm holding it, not 10, maybe like 5. It was pretty quick, but felt like forever. Where I'm holding it and I'm conscious that I can't move and this is happening, and finally I was just able to let go. I guess like it's weird, like the way electricity can interrupt your nerve receptors and the other ways that your body tells us.
It's
to do
literally your
things.
nerves.
Yeah.
You know, like we're just like this electrical impulses.
Yeah, I saw that meme too, Josh.
About the brain and the nerve.
Uh-huh.
And it changed my life, dude.
Right?
I
You're right.
think-
You're currently writing your novel about it.
Yeah, it's coming out in it'll be out soon. You know?
Yeah.
I'm still living in my parents' basement.
Hopefully, the
but
nervous system solves that case.
nerves.
Well, the album is over and our beers are gone, but there's still more snacks, and we don't work tomorrow, right?
Oh, I don't work for the next 16 days.
Dude, I'm on like mini vacation. You're on hella vacation, and my buddy Sean is also off for like 16 days.
Have I met Sean?
You might have.
Could we get him on the program?
We probably could.
What's he like?
He's a good buddy of mine. He's like the only dude from elementary school that I still like see.
It's weird that you and I have known each other our whole lives, but not really.
I mean,
Like, you know, I mean, like we knew each other young, but we didn't really know each other.
Mhm.
But we existed in the same place.
yeah, like within what 20 houses or something.
Yeah. No, not even that. I was right there on Lockery, and then there's a corner house. Boom, you guys.
That's right.
We're like 3 or 4 houses away, but around the corner.
Man, it's a long time ago.
Oh yeah, it was a long time ago. All right, it was 25 years ago. Quarter century.
Quarter century.
Yeah, but I was friends with your neighbor.
I had so many neighbors. Like a lot of people that
Redheaded with a rat tail.
Daniel Doyle.
Nick.
Nick Alex was that Nick? I don't know. I
You
can't
had a lot of
remember.
neighbors, yeah. But the turnover rate in that place was pretty high.
We were there for a minute though. That's like where we lived when we moved to Indiana. We immigrated with an I, no an E. We immigrated to Indiana.
Did you just migrate? I don't think there's no. I don't think there's anything before any of that. No prefix. You're just migrated. We just moved. It's just what people do.
We came north on the 4 line.
From Bowling Green.
No, I'm from Floyd County,
Is it near Bowling Green?
other side of Kentucky, coal mining country.
Oh, but
You
did
can
you?
spit out the door here in West Virginia.
So you? But didn't your pops end up back in Bowling Green?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a connection with you and Bowling
Yeah.
Green. Okay, cool. I'll make sure because I was sending you Bowling Green stuff and you were just complying with it, so I was making sure that I wasn't completely foolish
No, I was.
or look mad. Why'd you keep sending me stuff? Oh well, it's interesting enough. I'll accept it.
I appreciate the brochures.
I love brochures.
They're nice.
I think pamphlets are also very nice, and I
They
think
are.
they are the underrated
What's the difference between a brochure and a pamphlet? A pamphlet.
intentions.
Well, wouldn't you say like a brochure has like pages, individual pages? We're talking like probably 3 inches by 11 inches. You know, the regular.
Ooh, oh, you're getting fancy brochure.
We're describing this for people who can't see what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
because how fancy can you get with a pamphlet? A pamphlet seems almost regulated. It seems like
A pamphlet's just like a piece of paper that's folded in thirds, right? Can we agree on this?
right. Yeah, the size of a pamphlet seems very regulated. It seems like if I had 50 pamphlets, they'd probably stack on each other relatively easily.
Mhm.
Brochures, on the other hand,
Or like little books. If they involve staples and they're small,
ooh,
it's a brochure.
Oh, because you could have a 50-page brochure.
right?
You can't have a 50-page pamphlet.
No, because one piece of paper is folded in
Oh
thirds.
no, yeah. Now, if you had a 50-page pamphlet, though,
That'd be a lot of third fold.
It would be.
Would you fold them in on each other like a little book? That'd be a pain in the ass.
You would have to definitely be like a giant paper crane.
Giant paper crane. That sounds like a song by Enya.
Giant paper crane.
yeah, see?
I don't have it.
And you could sing that.
Enya.
If you got
So
it in
it
you.
sounds
Have
like-
you got it in you?
It's just a bad sexual joke happening all
Have
the
you
time.
got it in you? You know, that's probably why she took her name, because she'd like go to performances, she'd be so nervous, and like the other people would be like, "Have you got it in you?" To go up there and sing. She's like, "I'm gonna call myself in you,"
And they're like, sail away.
and they'll it'd be on Pulse. It wasn't Pulse, it was Pure Moods.
Pure Moods. Volume 1. They knew they were gonna bring more out.
Right?
Like if you're bold enough to put volume
That is
1,
very bold. But then again, Star Wars was episode 4.
I guess when it came out, it just said Star Wars. It didn't have that
Mm.
written on it, so it was just in the middle of something happening. And if you think about it, George Lucas is a genius with the way he did it, because too many people now want a linear story with a lot of front and back and like full descriptions.
Mhm.
He basically took and said, all right, it's in the middle of stuff happening, of this situation. I'm not telling you any of that. Something happens forward from that. Like, it was just totally open-ended by the way he told the narrative. Whether he planned on going back or actually had any idea of what had happened prior, I don't know. I kind of am iffy toward that. But I think that he was basically going stream of consciousness in the idea of, like, there is a folklore there's lore previous to this, and then this kid rises up to save a princess, and it's very like somebody. It's almost like he showed up at a board meeting and like, hey, we need a story. And he's like, there's this farm
Right.
boy and he's looking for a princess, and he meets this old guy. He's kind of like a wizard in the desert, but they're not really in a desert because he's on this planet Tatooine. It seems very made up.
It does.
On the spot.
It does,
Johnny on the
actually.
spot. But then
Yeah.
he came. He's like, but he's constantly like coming up with more parts.
Yeah.
And then to a point to where it's like he's created this giant universe of lies, like on why he was late to getting
Yeah.
home from the store.
Right.
Like, well, there was this farm boy, Ma, and he was staring into the sunset. It was 2 suns. and it was in Tatooine. Yeah.
And you know it's Thursday. I bowl on Thursday.
Yeah.
And the car's having problems with the coolant. I had to stop at AutoZone to, top her off, and then, some pedestrian needed a ride. So, of course, me being as cool as I am, I gave him a ride.
And that's how I got home.
Yeah.
And that's basically the story of Star Wars. I think he was just lying. I think he was just pulling out of his ass, and people were like, they were being his stenographers. They were just like writing it. Yeah, Mr. Lucas, that's beautiful. That's great.
Could be.
Oh yeah, we have tie-ins with Jim Henson Productions. We can get you some Muppets that look like a weird green guy with pointy ears and Muppet.
How much cocaine was he doing?
Enough, just enough to be like, yeah. I think it was basically like the biggest white lie that made it into the biggest epic of all time.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Star Wars, because it's more of a fantasy, like he's standing by a campfire coming up with more ideas every night based off of like he's learning from it. Snowball effect on it. And it's more mystical. It's more like knights and dragons than anything else.
Like it's like a Dio song.
It's a total Dio song. Star Wars is Dio in space.
That's right. Dio in
and that gets 5 brews.
I would give Dio a space 5 brews.
Yeah,
right.
Because even George Lucas, he defended it by saying, "Dude, it's a space opera for kids," and you people are getting mad at me for giving it a backstory with a linear narrative that leads up to what I originally lied about. And that's it.
Got paid, bro. Got paid.
Fool got paid. And Dio in space needs to happen.
It does. Too bad Dio is, no more.
But let's write the epic space opera of Dio in space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. It'd be Tommy
Throwing
in
a bunch of whole, like, Dio references and Star Wars references. It's just Star Wars, but you replace Luke. No, you replace Obi-Wan with Dio.
So Dio is the wise wizard.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's he teaching?
Joe Pesci.
Oh, okay, I like that. What's going on with Pesci?
I don't know.
I feel like he's kind of like Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis, yeah.
They just kind of like faded into obscurity, but they can still go to shopping malls and like people are like, "Oh, hey, you're Rick Moranis." He's like, "Yeah, I'm Rick Moranis." He's like, "What are you here for?" He's like, "I just came and bought some shoes." And they're like, "Oh, okay."
I mean,
and
if I saw Rick Moranis buying a pair of Jordashes, I wouldn't think twice.
I feel like I see Rick Moranis every day of my life because he just looks like a regular dad.
Yeah, that's true. But you got to watch out for him because he shrunk the kids and then
blew
them up.
And then shrunk himself.
Right? You just can't trust this guy.
It's like this guy's just like giving out free acid. Of course you want the free acid, but you don't want...
science.
Free science. You can't just be giving away science. That seems very irresponsible.
Mm-hmm. Bill Murray, the science guy. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. That would have been a whole different career path.
Right?
What's your favorite Bill Murray movie?
Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I'm going to draw a blank now.
Because he has so many.
This is way too many movies.
Because, I mean, I like each one for their own reasons. Of course, Ghostbusters could pop up, or Stripes.
Scrooged.
Which I've never seen all of.
Really?
I feel like it's one that I always try to start in the worst time. So it's like one of those movies.
I feel you.
People love that movie. The one Ghost.
She's got that voice.
Mm-hmm.
She sounds like this.
Yeah.
I love her.
I forget her name. She's been in so much stuff.
She was in Taxi, and then she was... that's one of the best changes of all time was the grandma on Addams Family Values.
I don't recall.
Did you watch Addams Family Values, the second one?
I've probably seen it. I don't remember.
Where they go to camp?
I think I've seen it.
Well, she becomes the grandma.
No. Interesting.
The lady who played her in the first one was like, yeah, she was okay.
Huh.
But I liked her better.
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall. They could hang out. Where's Shelley Duvall, dude?
What about Richard Dreyfuss?
Dude. Did you hear about the thing between he and Kevin Spacey?
What?
Kevin Spacey got in trouble for that.
Yeah, lewd and
sexual-
lascivious acts
Toward a
The
male
yes.
minor
Mm-hmm.
who was Richard Dreyfuss' son.
Wow.
Yeah, of all people.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Who was great in American Graffiti, which was also a George Lucas film.
Wow. Anyways, the album's been over for quite some time.
What we gonna do here? We got these 2 brews down. I definitely need to use the dude's room.
Dude's room. Well, I think this is gonna be it for the episode. We might have another beer. We might not. Maybe you could hang out and find out, or do whatever you want. We don't care.
But thanks for joining us tonight on Dudes, Tunes, and Brews.
Thanks so much.
All right, we're put together all at last minute. Impromptu is the
Yeah, this is definitely an impromptu episode.
and I'm enjoying it. It's our first episode in a while where we haven't had a guest.
No guest because it was our celebratory Father's Day episode, and yes.
So thanks for joining us tonight, and get drunk this weekend. Enjoy being a father. If you're not a father, just enjoy living and breathing.
Yeah, take a nap. Who cares?
It's all fleeting, and eventually the sun will eat this planet.
We got to work on Monday anyways. So
yeah, Monday still happens whether you are existentially.
Actually, Monday isn't happening because I'm off till Wednesday. Beautiful. Yes, this has been Dudes
Tunes
and Brews.
Dudes!
Tunes
And Brews!
and Brews.
We're dudes.
We're dudes.
Listen to tunes.
Listen to tunes.
Drink some brews.
Drinking some brews.
We're dudes.
We're dudes.
Listen to tunes.
Listen to tunes.
And drink some brews.
And drinking some brews.